Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, August 27th, 2021. Looks like it could be a little bit of a sneaky day, so let's get after it here, right? Thursday, we're anticipating a little bit of data, but nothing too crazy, right? Initial jobless claims, state numbers, right? They are important, but they're kind of the precursor to sort of next week's, right? Non-farms, unemployment, all the kind of goodies that we're interested in. What we do need to be aware of, right, is that Powell speaks tomorrow at 10 a.m. Generally, right before Powell speaks, market gets a little bit nervous, right, gets a little bit indecisive, does a lot of positioning, wants to figure out kind of what it wants to do. So we're going to assume that the market is going to do that today and tomorrow morning, as long as Powell's speaking. So we're not going to take any huge size on anything, right? We're going to make sure that we're sizing down on plays and limiting our risk in that capacity. Right. This morning, my bias is definitely to the downside. Over the last little bit, right, in this kind of run up, say from this August 19th, right, to say this August 25th, so it's last six trading sessions, right, or last five trading days, last six sessions. You're getting a run up on decreasing volume, right? Yesterday we got a slight increase. But still well below average, right? No real sign that there's a lot of strength from buyers here this morning. So it feels a little bit trappy, right? We talk about all the time with candles, how we want candlesticks and volume to tell us the same story, right? And so if we're getting a strong run up and we're getting a big run up into new all-time highs, but we're making that all-time highs on less and less volume, it keeps looking right, like when the volume keeps decreasing and you keep making higher highs, like it kind of lets you know that maybe buyers are losing a little bit of interest or they're not as excited, that momentum is slowly disappearing, right? The other thing is we're at top of the BB band, so potentially really good spot for a reversal, right? If we can get that downward follow through, right, under that 447.20, right? That's got room down towards that 445 zone. If it can get there, and I think if it does, it can move pretty quick, right? Similar story here on QQQ, where you're making kind of, right, even more dramatically, right? Every day is now less and less volume, so Q looks even stronger than the SPY, right? Relatively to the downside, because this volume profile is even more complementary of sort of what we're anticipating, right? So if we can get that breakdown now under this 373.30, it seems like we have, quite a lot of kind of waning momentum, right? Momentum disappearing, while we have a chance to kind of fill this zone in, right, towards that 370 area. So I think there's a lot of downside potential here, and I'd be really interested in catching one of those moves. In general, with the indexes, right, we've had a chance now for bulls to take back control, right? So after that three green soldiers pattern, we didn't mind Tuesday's consolidation, right? That's fine, as long as that was followed up with by a big volume directional day. Well, we haven't followed up these three green soldiers patterns with any sort of continuation strength, right? And so that takes away my enthusiasm for bullish upside, right? If we were super bullish, why weren't we bullish already, kind of thing, right? So if I'm going to start going long again, or anything along those lines, right, I want to make sure that I get that high volume directional day where candlesticks and volume kind of tell you the same story, right? Apple's kind of in no man's land here at the moment. I'm not too interested in trading this, I think, yet. Right, we might be able to get a breakdown here under this, say, 147.70 area towards that 146.70. But I just think there's going to be stronger plays. Right, for now we're finding a little bit of dip buyers at the shelf zone. Right, a little bit of dip buyers here. So I think we can just do a little bit better than this Apple. Maybe more one to watch, right, than one to trade. And I think that's kind of the general theme maybe in some of these core names today. Right, same thing with this Tesla, right? Tesla, we want to see that breakout over this 730 zone, right? If we're able to get up and over that 730, well, then we start to open the door up, right, for a nice move towards that 750 mark. Continually kind of looks like it's in this ascending wedge pattern. So we want to see if we can get that breakout one of these days here. right? A little bit of consolidation is not a bad thing. If we lose this like 696, 697 area, right, and we really looks like sellers are coming in and market's going really red, Tesla could be a nice breakdown under that 700, right, towards that 680 zone. But we'll have to see how that comes together. Certainly looks like there is some potential here, but this will be one where we come up with maybe this trade plan a little bit later into the morning when we have a bit more information. Right, Microsoft continues to consolidate kind of above this 300 area, right, bouncing off 300 a couple times now, or bouncing off that 300 zone a couple times. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more consolidation here before it could kind of break up and over that 305.85 area. If we do get breakdowns, I'm interested in breakdowns under this like 297 zone, right? That can start to move down towards that 295, right? Then that 290, and then even that 288 areas. So a little bit of potential there to the downside as well. But I think this is probably a couple days away. So let's look at a few pattern plays. Right, we're getting, in general, right, I would say I'm seeing more bearish setups than bullish setups. Right, something like this mRNA, we found a lot of sellers, right? We were looking for that breakout over that 420, right? We seem to have found a lot of sellers in that zone, engulfing on volume, right, on a weak bullish candle. So if we can get breakdowns kind of under this 384, right, we have a chance to go towards that 380, 375, 368, right? So we want to lose essentially this shelf, go towards that previous low, and then see if we have a chance to get a setup on a break of this trend line. Right, if we get a break of that trend line, then we can really fly down and have a really, really nice play. So I think this is an interesting setup, right, to the downside. Again, right, only going to chase this. We're only going to look at this, right, if markets are weak. Right, same thing on this Pfizer. Kind of correlated plays, right, Pfizer and this Moderna. If one's going down, I'm going to kind of anticipate the other to go down as well. I like this 3 red soldiers, but not the strongest candle here yesterday, right? Like to have seen kind of increasing volume on it and not that much of a dip buy. So if we do break down under that, say, 46.88 area, I'm happy to go after this, but this is going to be a half size play by default. And then position size might even get smaller depending on where the stop loss needs to be, right? Or kind of depending on how I need to manage my risk, right? Penn, this thing was a monster yesterday on that 3 green soldiers continuation, right? Huge volume. We talked about how we want to see that increasing volume, and we saw that huge increase yesterday, right? That is an exciting breakout. So now we're looking for a similar story, right? For a breakout above this 81.45, right? To go towards that 82.75 zone, right? Just to kind of give us a little bit of a run up towards that maybe even 84 area. This thing has some pretty mega legs. And we're going to want to make sure that something like that DraftKings continues to look a little bit strong too. But this pen, right, 3 green soldiers, certainly looks pretty interesting to me. Right, CCL is another one of those bullish ones that we looked at yesterday that never triggered but certainly got close, right? So 3 green soldiers pattern, period of consolidation yesterday. Looking for that breakout over that 24.37, right, 24.40 we'll call it. And it's going to move like 50 cents at a time, right, towards that 24.90, and then 40 cents towards that 25.30. I think there's a little bit of potential here if we can get that breakout. Again, right, going to want to play this if the market is strong only. Facebook kind of looks a bit trappy to me here, right? So if we can see these numbers, 1, 2, 3, we're getting 3 candles where those arrows, right, we're getting higher highs, right, we're climbing up, but we're seeing a lot of weakness here in this run up, right, where we're seeing buyers really pushing price down, right, not very convincing closes. So if we can get this breakdown under, say, that 365.20, all right, I think this thing's got room down towards that 361.70, and really gives you that follow through downside potential, right? We're just not getting high conviction or right, not the kind of run up you want to see for this thing to break out over this trend line, right? I will play Facebook trend line breakouts, right? Wedge breakouts, if we can get up and over, say, this like 378 area, right? Kind of upper part of this wedge. Over here, right, in this 370 zone, right, 371 area. That for me screams trap, screams head fake. And because this run up, we're seeing too many signs of weakness, right? 1, 2, 3 keys. So need to make sure that we're kind of staying away and making sure we don't get trapped in this unnecessarily. Right, Docu is a really nice looking bullish setup if the market goes green this morning. Right, low vol pullback on Tuesday, DTR bullish engulfing on Wednesday. So we're invalidating this kind of weakness on Monday. Right, low vol pullback, almost inside bar. So great period of consolidation. Now giving it a little bit of breakout on Wednesday, right, and now we're looking for that move over that 300 psych level to kind of give us a run towards that 302.45, 303.50, and then that 305 area. So I like the looks of this, right? But gonna want to make sure that market is looking red or looking green, sorry, and we're not fighting the general trend here. Right? I love that volume strong. We're going to earnings next week, so we still got a little bit of time, and this could be a positioning play. And I'm not going to size down on this yet by default. If something comes up, right, if the stop loss has to be big or the option volume isn't there, then I will size down. But for now, by the looks of it, right, I'm happy to play this normally. Right? Something like the Zoom, maybe gapping up a little bit more than you'd like to see. But this was starting to look a bit like a bear flag to me. So we'll see how this thing holds up in the morning or sort of where that kind of gap goes to. But this looks like it has some potential if we can get down under that 331. If we're kind of gapping up here, though, right, that might invalidate this setup, and we'll move this on into the B plus and up and coming list. So we'll keep an eye on this a little bit closer to market open. For now, not so fussed. Just quickly check up, right? We had initial jobless claims just come in a little bit higher than expected. The market's not really moving yet. So no real reaction. We'll see if that leads to anything kind of a little bit down the road here. Right, Roku. I like this inside bar setup here, right? We've been seeing a lot of weakness. I can almost kind of look at this as a potentially bit of a bear flag setting up here too. Right, something like this, right? There's your bear flag. All right, there's your flagpole. So we're seeing a little bit of weakness. If we can get that breakdown, say, under this 351 shelf, I think we have a chance to break that 350, right? And then go towards that 340. If we're able to break that 340, then it certainly looks like that bear flag's in play, and we could get that mega downside follow through. But for now, right, I think this is just an inside bar breakdown, right? Failed breakout, failed recovery. Now let's see if that weakness can step in. I just wish the volume was a little bit higher here. I think it still looks okay, especially if the market goes red. But this looks like a potentially pretty nice setup here for this continuation downside weakness. Right? Kind of last but not least, sort of a sympathy play with that CCL is that hospitality reopening, hotels, cruise liners, right? Kind of play. So far, it's been shaking off that Delta variant concerns exceptionally well, right? And now we're getting a 3 green soldiers pattern, 1, 2, 3, right? Inside bar. So if we can get that breakout, say over that 128.60 area, right? Call it 128.67, right? Get that breakout up and over. You got about $1.30's worth of room towards that 130.30 zone. So I think that's got a lot of potential, right? Recovered trend line, nice inside bar, nice low vol pullback, right? Nice period of consolidation. So get that breakout, get that sign of strength, has a really good chance to kind of run up and go. There are a few other setups here, right? But they aren't looking that strong, right? In general, things look like they're waiting for the news tomorrow, right? They're waiting for Powell to speak tomorrow. And so I'm going to be very cautious today, right? I think today's, could scream a little bit of a trap day and could be a little bit dangerous if we're not careful. So let's make sure that things continue to look nice, right? That we're only playing relative strength, right? And we're sticking to our game plan, right? That's going to be our biggest advantage today. If for whatever reason you feel uncomfortable about a play or you feel bad about something, right? There's no shame in staying out, sizing down, right? Playing it with shares, right? Playing it with longer expiration options. There's many ways of being able to manage your risk, and don't feel like you have to play the most aggressive option, right? So that's really it for this morning. I think there's a lot of potential. For those of you who have watched this far, thank you so much for watching this video and for supporting this channel. I really appreciate if you could like and subscribe to this video, as it helps more people get access to this daily morning game plan. Otherwise, thank you so much, and best of luck and happy hunting out there. DTR members, I will see you in the room in just a few minutes. So happy hunting out there, guys, and see you later. Peace.